The Stanhope House is one of the legendary music venues here in New Jersey. It has gone through a number of changes over the years and may possibly be going through another one. And this morning here on DHA, we have with us Cristy Benvenutti. She is the president of the North Jersey Blues Society and a community volunteer, Greg Jones, to talk about the Stanhope House. Cristy, Greg, good morning and welcome to WDHA.
Good morning.
Morning, Jim.
Let me start with you, Cristy. Tell us about the North Jersey Blues Society, how long it's been around, what it does, etc.
Sure. So we formed in 2022. We're a 501(c)(3) nonprofit, and our mission is to bring blues music and blues education to Northern New Jersey.
And the Stanhope House, obviously, a huge part of that. You look at
Absolutely.
the artists who have played there over the years. It's just a who's who of blues artists. Heck, I even played there a couple of times, and I'm not a blues musician by any stretch of the imagination, but it is a wonderful, wonderful venue. Greg, what are some of your favorite memories of the Stanhope House?
I think I first started seeing bands there in 1979, maybe. Nitty Gritty Dirt Band was amazing. It was a snowy night in January. John McEwen was just amazing. And then at the end of the year, a whole year later, the Star Ledger did their top 10 concerts of the year. And they were like, Springsteen at Giant Stadium or whatever. And then in number 10, he goes, "Now, I know nobody was there." But so many over the years, Vassar Clemens and Randy California, those kind of guys back in the 80s, and Blue Sparks from Hell is just, they were the house band for a decade or more, and I was very, very close with those guys. Who've gone on to various ventures.
I think one of the bands I saw there most often was John Ginty in one musical configuration or another, and John's music was perfect for that kind of a venue.
Mhm.
Right, right. Well, yeah, a lot of music is perfect for that kind of venue. With it's held forth over the years and kept the great lineups regularly. Until the last decade, which I guess we'll get into. But
what is the status, Cristy, of the building right now? I know it goes back to the 1790s, and it's been a number of different things over the course of its history. What is the status of the building right now?
It's currently you mean as far as structurally?
Yes.
According to the owner, he feels that there's significant repairs that are needed. Visually, you can see that the roof needs repair. So that I know is definitely needed.
I saw a figure somewhere, and I'm not sure who this was attributed to, but repairs were estimated in the vicinity of $300,000. How accurate a number is that?
I don't believe that's very accurate. That was from the owner. John Klein stated that. Um, I don't think a roof costs $300,000.
What about the rest of the interior?
I've been inside. I haven't fallen through any. I don't see any holes in the floor. Bars work, so the drinks are being poured. Bathroom facilities work. You know, lights
One
are
of
on.
one of the things that always struck me about the Stanhope House was how it seamlessly fit into that downtown area. And one of the structures that they're talking about replacing it with doesn't. It just doesn't do it.
It doesn't belong in a historic village district.
right, it's a 1790 building, and it was the post office there. It was a tavern. It was, allegedly a brothel. Stories of Babe Ruth, that being one of his hangouts. And the current owner bought it for $535 in about 12 years ago, and 5 years later put it on the market for 1.7 million. And now is basically saying it's a bulldoze job. When I went and spoke to the public meeting, and he said it needs a new roof, and I said no, it needs its eighth new roof. Okay, it needed one in 1830, and 1860, and 1890, and the stewards of this fabulous historic building took care of it. They maintained it. They were responsible. And he hasn't. So we are to believe that when it was 1790 and 2018, when it was 228 years old, it was a great $1.7 million property. And 5 years later, it's a bulldoze job. So it can be turned into, multifamily housing, which is the top of the financial return food chain.
What about the option of having this building declared a landmark? Is that even viable at this point?
An application has been submitted to the State Historic Society, so it's underway.
And I know that there's a public hearing that's coming up this Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken. What do you anticipate happening at that meeting, Cristy?
We hope that the
I'm sorry. First of all, it's Tuesday.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Tuesday, May 14th, 7 o'clock at the Valley Road School in Stanhope. And our goal is to pack the house and ensure that the residents of Stanhope voice their concern. That's really our goal, right? Greg, anything else you want to add?
Well, it was a little frustrating at the last meeting. It really seems like the board is a monolith. Jim, I went there because I'm a local music advocate. I've had a radio show on WNTI out of Hackettstown for 7 years now. It's considered the #1 radio show in New Jersey. No, just kidding. And so I constantly have local bands in. Probably well over 100 shows with local musicians. So I went to the meeting as merely to advocate for for continuing a legendary blues venue here with a national reputation. And however, I also had chaired a planning board in my town in Morris County. And as soon as I saw what they were talking about, it just was so absurd. It's like exactly the opposite of what you would want to do in planning. This is zoned a village business district. Okay. Anybody trying to build a village business district would kill for a historic tavern, right? Because you're looking for foot traffic. And instead they're putting what looks like a public housing in Newark type building, 40 units, a 5-story building. I don't think there's anything above three stories in the whole area there. And so my question was, but I don't mean to monologue on here, but my question was, and I said to the guy next to me, it's like, how is this possibly happening? And as it turns out, the mayor works for the owner, John Klein. The president of the council works for the owner, John Klein. They both have recused themselves properly. And the other 5 just are doing this like it's a monolith. It's a redevelopment plan. And a 1-lot spot zoning. So the whole thing just, my jaw dropped. From a planning perspective, I can't imagine what they're trying to accomplish. Locally, it's called the John Klein bailout bill, because the only person I can see benefiting is the owner, who is said to be underwater on the whole project financially.
What's the time frame here? I know that there are shows booked at the Stanhope House, going on for a while yet, looking at their website. But Cristy, what kind of timeline are we looking at here?
When I spoke to the manager at Stanhope, he said that they were going to be closing their doors at the end of the year.
And for WDHA listeners who want to learn more about this, I know there's a Facebook page, there's a GoFundMe page, but where can they go to learn more and to help support the efforts to save the Stanhope House?
We have a Facebook page called Save the Stanhope House. You can go there. You can also go to the North Jersey Blues Society website at northjerseybluessociety.org, and there's also information there.
And again, this meeting is Tuesday night, the 14th in Stanhope. Cristy, Greg, thank you so much for your time this morning. I fully support what you're trying to do here. The Stanhope House is a tremendous venue, and we talked about the legendary number of artists who have played there over the years, and best of luck with this going forward.
Thank you.
Jim, thank you very much.